Alright, hello and welcome to my video on cleaning a Master System light phaser. As you can tell, I've already disassembled this particular one here. I don't have any other ones right now, kind of the reason why I'm cleaning this one, to try and see if I can't get the aim to work a little bit more correctly. It's a little off-center, it shoots to the right. I'm not sure if cleaning it will do anything or not, but we'll have to see if it does or not. Anyway, the first thing you're going to need to do is remove this panel from the left side of the light phaser. It's just like a thick piece of plastic with a decal on it. It's I don't know. It's you're just gonna want to heat it up with a hair dryer, and until like the glue gets a little loose, and then just get your fingernail underneath there if you have fingernails or something small to get underneath that and try not to damage it too much. But heating it up helps with getting it off of there. Well, so then there's gonna be, I think, 6 screw points. There's the 2 up here, which use the same size screw. These 2 smaller ones right here. Then there's gonna be another one right here in the center, and that's gonna be this kind of the medium-sized one out of all of these. It's not quite as big as the rest. And then there's 3 of the same bigger screws that go underneath that panel and 2 at the bottom of the handle. And then as soon as you open it up, you're gonna see that the well, I have this already disassembled, and I'm very sorry, but I'll show you how to put it back together. But here in the handle, there is going to be 2 weights, one smaller one on the inside and one larger one on the outside. As you can tell right here, this one I already sanded and put like a thin layer of clear coat on it to prevent it from rusting again. This one right here still has a lot of the rust that was on there. I mean, it's not too much, but it's still more than I would want in there. So anyway, I use steel wool, and just that's about it. Just quick, take a run over it, like, I don't know. It should clean up pretty well. It comes out fairly clean. Just yeah. Then make sure you don't get any of that steel wool inside of the gun like I just did. That's a bad idea. I'm still gonna clean the outside of it, so that's still okay. You're gonna want to keep the laser and everything away from it too. I just am being stupid here right now, just because of the fact that, yeah. Anyway, after I know this is a little late, but when you pull it apart, there's this back panel here, and you're going to want to separate all of these, and yeah, take out all the guts. There's the trigger that goes right there. Yeah, there's not much to this. I mean, yeah, but anyway, use like whatever you want to clean this stuff up. Soap and water, spray cleaner, anything, just to get cleaned up. Nothing in here is gonna really get messed up. So, I mean, well, kind of trying to avoid doing too much around the sticker, because that'll peel off, as far as I know. Anyway, all right, I'll come back to you after I clean the shell of it here. Okay, now that I have cleaned off the shell and it's dry, let's start putting this thing back together, I guess. I also clear coated both of these now. They shouldn't rust for a while. I think it's pretty decent for considering they were all open and rusty before. I don't really know how to describe it, but at least now they have a layer of clear coat on them. And some of the rust was removed. There was actually a bit of a like buildup of rust inside of each of these things where they're held at too, so it's kind of good that I got that out of there. We're gonna stick these back in. And put in that back panel. And I already cleaned this off. It's the I think this is just plastic, but it's a lens for the front here. I just used Windex and a like a, I don't know how to describe it, but like this little microfiber pad thing, whatever this thing is here. I'll try and touch that up a little bit more, because I mean there seems to be just getting dust on it every second. So the quicker you get done with this, the better. Or if you just have a lot cleaner house than that, where there's somehow no dust at all. Anyway, next thing that we're gonna want to do is well, let's start out by cleaning this circuit board here, and the that's about all I'm gonna try and do. I mean, I don't know enough about this to try and do anything more complicated with it. So I'm gonna grab a clean Q-tip here and spray a little bit of Windex on here. So bottom, got a little stuck on there. Make sure that you don't leave behind a bunch of little filament things from the Q-tip. I'm not sure if this is corrosion or somebody spilled pop on here or something, but there's like a little brown spot there. I don't know if that's something that's supposed to be there or not. I'm just gonna assume it is supposed to be there, but I don't think that's, because I mean it doesn't really come off that easy, whatever it is. I don't really know. There's not too much to clean here unless you really feel like taking it apart, which I would not recommend unless it's really needed. Well, spray it out with a little bit of, there's not really any dust on here anymore because I've already done this, but spray it out with a little bit of duster. Yeah, and then start sticking this back in here. So this board clips in here. Good. It slips right into those little whatevers. I just realized that they had that marked because they have the two little grooves for the thing to slide into. And then for the wire, put it back in like this. Kink it like that and around that one. And then the trigger. That goes in there like... I'm very sorry for fumbling with this, but it does go back in here like this on those two pegs. Whoops. Alright, so after you get the circuit board and laser and trigger, well, the actual switch for the trigger back in there, you're going to want to put the actual trigger that presses the button back in there. This peg right here slides through there and goes into that hole. Sorry, I started doing this one-handed because I did have it, but there we go, it's back in there. Make sure everything's in place. Stick the top panel back on. And then we're gonna need to put back in all those screws. Okay, now so I have all my screws back in place. Now the only thing left to do is to reapply this decal kind of plasticky thing to the over the side of the gun here. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to heat it up with a hairdryer, like I said earlier, on how to get it off. That's how you're going to get it back on. If you want to, you could try and glue it back on there, but I think this will work just fine. Okay, so after you've heated it up, just rub it back on there with your thumb or whatever, and it should stick back on there fairly easily. It's not going to come off like unless you pry it back off like you did the first time, really, because it's kind of in like a little recessed groove here. So anyway, that's my video on this Sega Master System light phaser. I'll do a little bit of gameplay with it, like I said, on another video. Alright, thanks for watching.